The goals are that the joints and shoulders and knees and elbows need to feel like they are 20 years old. So I'll make sure the nutrition is applied to that. I need to make sure that the weights, regardless of what I put on my body, feel like nothing. I wish I go back to my young self and say, sit in it, take your time, and drive out of it instead of torque it.
I got the best shape of my life on the Blitz. Is that something you can do once or twice per year?
I came in, believe it or not, Jeffrey, tell them what I did this morning when I came in with my calories.
When you came in, you wanted more? You added more calories?
But what did I make you do to do it?
Oh, type it in the where's the paper at? Type the paper out, print it, and have you visually see it.
So I'm me. So you may think that I go, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know I could eat right.
Yeah.
I have it on a piece of paper, guys.
Yeah.
And this morning I come in going, okay, you know what? I'm going to tweak something. And like where this guy says, I'm not going to count calories. Do you know how many calories on my whole plan I changed? 30 grams of protein.
It was
30 grams. 27. It was actually 29 grams of protein.
It was 125 calories.
125 calories. Out of my whole plan, I said, Jeffrey, throw out the old paper, add in this 29 grams of protein at this place and at this place, and print out a new paper for me. So where this guy's going, I don't write things down. I go, I write everything down. And I stay to this to a T. And then in a couple of weeks, I analyze it and go, what's going on? What? Why is what? Let's change it. Guys, if you don't write the stuff down, it doesn't make you cool. It doesn't make you like you're a master at something. It makes you a fool. These are little details that I shouldn't have to remember right now. I got more important stuff to remember. But it should be written down so you can go back and analyze it and then take all your information and go, I got my training in. I didn't do cardio these 2 weeks because I wasn't supposed to. I got some ab works. My lower back is hurting. Not sure why. Let's analyze that. What'd you do? My calories are in. I didn't get sleep. Oh, so you're not recovering because you didn't get the sleep. That's what's going on with the lower back. We fix everything. We keep going forward. Little details.
Did Mona ever get her shorts back?
Mona did not get her shorts back. I'm actually going to wear those again, man. They feel really good and I look sexy. I might go with some high heels, though.
He said the interview was about you in general, not gladiators.
Oh, love it.
It was at the Arnold.
I love it. I love it. Oh, thank you so much, my man. Appreciate that. Think of something that I said then that still stands now. If you can think of something. If you remember anything from that interview. Or send us a link and I'll throw that up here so everybody else can read your interview you did.
Shout out to Mike. I got the best shape of my life on the Blitz. Is that something you can do once or twice per year?
Definitely, depending on how far you space that out, you could definitely do it twice a year. Twice in a row is really, really tough. I recommend taking a stage or taking 12 weeks of being in a deficit and getting ready for it and then finishing on the Blitz. The Blitz gets you to a different level, but it doesn't get you to a different level just physically. And I'd like you to answer this for us. Did it change anything else besides your body? Please answer that down below.
Mike, I have 300 nanograms per deciliter at 18 years old. What should I do? Probably referring to his testosterone levels.
You want to answer that for him?
Yeah, you shouldn't fucking ask somebody in a live chat. You should get that fixed.
Probably talk to your doctor.
Medical professional.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I know you're 18 and stuff, and social media seems like a cool thing to ask some people and stuff, but you always, when it comes to your body, work with a doctor when it comes to stuff like that. That's something you don't want to play around with.
Yeah. That, and like when people, I'll see a lot of comments about like, hey, my rotator cuff hurts. What should I do? Hey, my knee hurts. What should I do? Hey, my lower back hurts.
And then you get a whole bunch of
you don't know what to do.
Ex-tennis players that did it at the racket club.
You don't know what that person should do.
I don't know if that person's 100 pounds overweight.
Right.
And
there's a million things.
Yeah.
So it's always good to seek out a professional.
All right, let's go.
I'm usually grinding in the gym 6 days a week. Well, usually. Every couple months I seem to get demotivated, but I still grind through. What are some little things that help keep you motivated day after day?
Goal setting.
Ooh, goal setting.
Goal setting. So like right now, the goals are that the joints and shoulders and knees and elbows need to feel like they are 20 years old. So I'll make sure the nutrition is applied to that. I need to make sure that the weights, regardless of what I put on my body, feel like nothing. So again, the food then aspect to that, along with the training principles, along with the sleep and water intake. But that's the goal for the next 9 weeks. And so there's no way I'll lose steam on the 9 weeks because I got to get to that goal. And then after that goal, I'll have my next goal on the next plan, and then so on and so forth. So that's how I do it. But I've never in 40 years gone through a phase where I just kind of grinded through it. For me, it's always goals, depending on what it is. It could be as lame as I need to keep my strength where it's at right now while I'm dealing with the passing of a family member. It could be as basic as that, just until my emotions are okay that I can start training again and I'm not crying every day because I lost a family member. It's like, grab those goals. Those goals don't have to be a cover of a magazine or a trophy. I would say they have been less about trophies and covers of the magazine for me in my lifetime than they have about just life, ups and downs of life. Hey, is rent getting paid? Hey, I need to stay true to this because that will keep me disciplined to get the rent paid. It's crazy. You guys will find those little goals that mean more to you than trophies ever did.
Let's ask everyone in the Titan crew what their goal is, because we see it in the check-ins, but I'd like to see a list, of people saying what is their goal and what's keeping them motivated going forward, because that could help somebody who doesn't really know or is struggling as well. Somebody in there tell us.
That's okay. We'll put that up there. For everybody that's not in the Titan crew, there will be a post there. So when you do get in there, we're going to ask you guys to tell us what is your short-term goal and what is your long-term goal. I don't want to say nothing now. I'm just going to ask you what your short-term goal is and what your long-term goal is. And then I will put mine down as well. And Jeffrey, do the same?
Swole Sif, yeah, I'll put mine down too.
Swole Sif, what's up, my man? No question?
Just a thank you.
Man, appreciate that, kid.
I'm 20. Do you think I should be setting my body up right now to be successful in the future? How do you think I should be setting my body up right now to be successful in the future?
A good calorie intake, compound movements with the right form, and feeling it. So I'm working with a kid he would have to be represented the #1 person in the United States for supplementation, and I'm working with him. And he sent me a video of him squatting. Now this kid knows what's a good squat and bad squat, and it was interesting because he's still young. Everybody's young next to me, but he's a young kid. And I said, "You're just going through the motions. Don't go through the motions." And what's interesting is I just had 3 knuckleheads in the house that said they don't go through the motions, and they were just going through the motions. So I'm not going to say the knuckleheads. Those guys better call themselves out on this. Don't go through the motions. Stop with the numbers. I put up a post the other day, and Jeffrey articulated it for us. It's do 1 rep over and over again to get your 10. That's what I would do. Mostly at 20. I wish I could go back and tell my young teenage self and 20-year-old self, go through the motion better, stay in the hard position, even though you can deadlift. Okay, so take a deadlift for all you. Even though you can deadlift and you can torque it, you know what I mean? Or you can snap it and get that kind of 550 deadlift up off the ground. I wish I'd go back to my young self and say, sit in it, take your time, and drive out of it instead of torque it. If that doesn't make sense to you, I can't help you any further, but that's just the kind of concept I wish I would tell my young self to have done, because the development of the muscle would have matched my strength. So understand, my strength was beyond, and it was stronger than anybody when I got to Gold's Gym. They couldn't hang with me, but the muscularity was not there. And so That was one of the big things. And everybody always talked about, well, don't know, the muscularity is not there because of time. You're young. That comes with years and years of lifting. Yeah, it does. But there's also a basic muscularity that does go along with strength. And you'll see powerlifters don't have that because they move through the movement. They're just trying to get the most max weight. And I see that a lot with the Titan crew members, that they give me this PR that they did. And I'm like, no, that PR could look better and do better. So I'm the guy that's going to say, I'd rather want 70% and 70% instead of 100% of your max with shitty form, or perfect form with terrible lightweight. Does that make sense? You guys with that? I'd rather go like as best as you can, like 70, 80% with a weight of 70 or 80% and lift in this area. Thank you for the question, man. Brilliant. Love it.
Boom. I can't stop training and eating if I slow down eating. It's bad news. And if I continue every 2 hours eating, I gain weight way too fast. What should I do? That's your vegan.
No, that's my vegan guy. Wait a minute. You just told me that you don't have to keep track. We're done, vegan. We're done. You have to get in the Titan crew. No more questions. And the only reason I'd say no more questions for this guy, I know he's asking, is like, well, answer his questions. You can't answer those questions because you already saw that he went one way and said, I don't keep track, don't need it. I'm good. I gain weight. Then he comes back here going, I'm all over the place. I don't know what to do. If I stop, I go this way, I go that way. I left, right. I don't know. She's right. He's right. It's like all he has to do, and this is not up to me. He just has to get on the Titan meal plan and Pro Secrets. And in 12 weeks, not only will he be better than he is today, not only in 12 weeks will he be better than today, he'll be set up for the next year on how to even get better than that. But now this is you guys answer me this. You can't force somebody to do something they don't want to do. If somebody wants to train and wants to get going and wants to get in the Titan crew, they're looking at that logo up there by my name right there. Facebook / Mike OHearn groups, all that. And they're in the Titan crew and they're starting. So trained with the Barbarian Brothers, David and Peter Paul. Also, I just showed Jeffrey a photo that David Paul did of me when I was in my early 20s. We went up to this incredible place. But yeah, they're friends of mine. Very good friends of mine. All those guys. Anybody you guys know from the 80s and 90s at the very pinnacle of the industry, those were my friends and training partners.
In what order is the most important? Sleep, training, diet.
Diet, then sleep, then a calm mind, then low stress, and then training at number 5. So, yeah, and I think this is true. Just going back to this, and James just brought this up. Time management isn't easy, guys. But there's a reason why I trained at 4 o'clock in the morning. There's a reason I trained at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's nobody says any of this is easy. I may make it look easy, but it's in no way easy. It wasn't easy in my teenage years, and it's not easy for me now. Yeah, so that's. We're not asking you to go, well, you know, I got family, I got work, I got kids, I got overtime, I got this, I got that. Everybody has something. So like the one kid, he plays Apex 15 hours a day. He's got a busy schedule. Still gets training in. So it's just set yourselves up. Most of you youngsters, before life gets you bitter or anything, please don't go down that road. Set yourself up to how you want to live. All of you, set yourself up to how you want to live. And you can only do that when you're young. It's tough to do later because later on you got responsibilities, you got house payments or rent and a family and kids. And now you can't go live that life where you're working 24/7. So set yourself up to win. Joe Rogan did a great discussion and podcast about that, about when you're in your 20s, especially 20s, because maybe you're not as mature as I was when I was a teenager and had a dream. Maybe in your 20s, but in your 20s to 30s, go ballistic on setting your lives up and live in the bum place and save the money on the rent and drive the beater car and set yourselves up so when you do hit 30, it's your life and it's your time and it's your schedule. And then you can buy the nice car and the house and all that kind of stuff. But there should be.
Why don't you just make more money when you're 20?
I agree. Just make more money when you're 20. But still, I mean, I did well in my 20s and I still lived like I still live like I'm broke.
Yep.
I freaking do. I get up every morning going, just call it in. You're done. You're done the training. You're done. I live in a mindset of I am broke and I push this shit. And it's about the littlest stuff. And Jeffrey can tell you, it's like, dude, that's really, you can breathe a little. And it's like,
I might.